you won't be steady. How can you be a higher devotee if you're not steady, if you keep falling down all the time? If you're running a race and you keep falling down, well, you know, you're not going to come in first, that's for sure. So this devotional service is like a race. It's like a marathon. It means that you have to pace yourself. You have to find a pace that you can maintain and be steady at for a long period of time, years. And that is how you actually make it to the finish line. You become steady, you pace yourself, but the qualification required is this anartha-nivritti, to attain that steadiness. You can't be falling down all the time. You can't be tripping down, falling over material desires and material activities. So, what we're going to study today is the different types of anarthas, and say a little bit about each one. Does everyone have the link to the, yeah, give them the link there. I posted a PDF file, which we're all looking at here. We have it printed out. You should also be looking at it. So basically, anarthas, these unwanted things, are of four kinds. Svarūpa-bhrama means illusion about your spiritual identity. We're all spiritual beings. We are eternally spiritual beings. It's not like we have to become a spiritual being. We already are a spiritual being. And the proof of that is that we are conscious. Consciousness is not like anything else. Consciousness is so unique because without consciousness, nothing else is important. Think about it. If somebody knocks you on the head and you're unconscious, you can't think about anything, you can't do anything, you can't feel anything, you can't know anything, you can't have an opinion about anything, you can't say anything, you can't have an emotion, you can't even perceive anything. You're unconscious. If you're unconscious, if you have no consciousness, nothing else is important. Nothing else matters. And you can't do anything. See? Consciousness is so important because consciousness is the thing that gives importance or value to everything else. Isn't it? What is a desire? If you look at a desire means you want to be conscious of some particular thing. I mean, at the root of it. You say, you know, I want a new car. Well, what does that mean? It means you want to enjoy the consciousness of yourself riding in your new car. Isn't it? What if we give you a new car and then we give you some anesthetic and knock you out, and then we put you in your new car? Are you going to enjoy your new car? No, because you're unconscious. How can you enjoy your new car unless you're conscious? So if you have a desire for a new car, that means you want to be conscious of you having a new car. Otherwise, it's meaningless. Isn't it so? So, the very first thing, the very most important thing about being alive is that we are conscious. And consciousness is a very, very special thing. Because, for example, I can't see my own eyeball unless I'm in front of a mirror or something like that. But in ordinary situation, I can't see my own eyes. Isn't it? But I can see my own consciousness. If I ask you, are you conscious? What are you going to say? Yes, right? So you are conscious of the fact that you are conscious. That means that consciousness is not an ordinary thing. Consciousness is not a material thing. It means that consciousness is transcendental. Transcendental means it's not of this material world. Some people try to say that consciousness is some byproduct of the function of the brain or something like that. Well, if that's so, then how can we be conscious of consciousness? See? If consciousness was simply a function of the brain, it would be like the eye. The eye cannot see itself. But consciousness can see itself. Therefore, consciousness is not material. Consciousness is spiritual, and because of that, consciousness is eternal. You can never remember a time when you are unconscious, can you? So our very existence has to be not on this material platform, but on the spiritual platform, on the eternal platform, without beginning or end. Because if our consciousness did end at any time, actually finish, then we wouldn't be a spiritual being at all. And then all of this, none of this would matter. Nothing would matter. Life would become meaningless. Because if consciousness ends, that means consciousness is simply material. It's simply a function of the brain. And what's the difference if one brain or one brain more or less, there's no difference. There's no meaning to it, no value. When we say something has meaning, that means it has value. So the most valuable thing in the world is consciousness, because the value of every other thing in the world is dependent on consciousness. And without consciousness, nothing has any value. Or if consciousness is material, we reach the same conclusion, that nothing has any value. Might as well just all go off and kill ourselves. So consciousness, therefore, is the meaning and the value of life. And everything that's meaningful, everything that's valuable is derived from consciousness. Therefore, the knowledge about consciousness and the development of consciousness is the most valuable thing that we can do in life. So why is everybody spending so much time on material stuff? Because of this svarūpa-bhrama, illusion about your spiritual identity. If we actually understood our spiritual identity, we wouldn't want to do anything except enhance our consciousness. You see? And that's who a sadhu is. A sadhu is a person who has realized, oh, without consciousness, there is nothing else. So I better make it my business to enhance and develop and make strong my consciousness. That's the real purpose of life. That's the real business. That's why we're here. And more than that, svarūpa, my real identity is a conscious being in a world of pure consciousness in relationship with the source of consciousness. Just like now it was just raining. Well, where is that water coming from? It comes from the ocean. The sun shines, evaporates the water, it makes a cloud, the cloud comes over the land, and then the rain falls. Without the ocean there, we wouldn't have any rain. See? So the ocean is the reservoir of the water. Similarly, we see the light coming. Now, where is the light coming from? It's coming from the sun. So the sun is the reservoir or the source of this light energy. And now we just went through an elaborate discussion of how we are conscious, and our very being is made of consciousness. So somewhere there has to be a source of that consciousness, that energy. We never find any material or any energy, especially, without a source. The ocean is a source of water, the sun is a source of light. Well, what is the source of consciousness? It has to be God. Nityo nityanang, chaitanash chaitananang. There are many conscious living entities, many eternal conscious living entities. But there is one living entity who is the source of all the others. And who is he? Eko bahunam yo vididhati kamang He is the one who maintains all the others. He creates this material world, he creates the spiritual world, he creates the living entities, the souls, and he maintains them. He gives them all their necessities. So that's God. There's no other definition of God that really works besides that one. That's the definition that's given in the Vedas. Om Purnam Purna. He's complete. Purnam Adaya. Purnam Eva Vashishyate. That everything is coming from him. And everything that he creates is complete. Because he's complete. Therefore, all the living entities are also complete units. Living entities, living beings. Conscious.